this thing working? Might be. Awesome. People are here. Hello, Javier. Scott Wexler. Hello, sir. Good to see people hanging around. TJ. Tom, hello, hello. Hopefully you and the wife are doing well. All right. Today's Tuesday night live stream, happily brought to you by Rock God Brewing of Danville, Pennsylvania. And, me, your host. Yep, got me a haircut. It's okay. Mike, hello, sir. Colt, hello, hello. Man, you find a 9mm? I don't know. Somebody has it, but shops probably not. I did see, and you will pay a good amount. A Defiant Munitions has 9mm in stock. 500 rounds of that will cost a fair amount. Steve, hello. Complimented on my artwork. So back there is a 3-foot by 4-foot map of Bloomsburg that I created this morning. It is has topographic lines on top of an aerial photograph, and then shaded for colors to represent what it is, and then an overlay of major streets on top of that, printed at Staples. $12 total in cost, and a couple hours of my time to get it all figured out. And I sent it to them at noon. They had it printed by 3, so it worked out pretty okay. So that's my hometown. That's my AO right there. Yes, Scott, what are you putting up for sale? Tell the folks. Now is a good time to sell stuff if you have stuff. It's the best time to sell ammo, but ain't fucking nobody got it. My ammo insider people tell me, do not expect to see ammo trickling back in until after like the election. And the election could cause that to go further, push that date further out. And there is no way that we will see ammo like on shelves regularly until 2021. For instance, is there are companies that make ammo and they buy components. They can't buy components, like they can't buy brass, because the company that makes the brass for them doesn't have it. They can't make any brass because they physically cannot purchase raw brass, like, ore and shit is not coming out. So that time frame where nobody was mining any metals out of the ground has now caught up to the supply part of us trying to buy a complete product. I would run aluminum case Blazer or the aluminum case Federal without a lot of concern. I haven't had terrible problems with aluminum. I've had less problems with aluminum than steel case, and I'd run all that. Adam, hello, sir. So the construction businesses, I've had some folks tell me that their problem, they're running into the same thing. Like, now that they can go back to work and they're ready to start hammering jobs, there's running out of materials. Things like one of the things that stood out was electrical breakers. For breaker boxes, like they haven't been. There was a 2-month period where none were being made, and now ones that we prior have been used, and that of not getting them is set up and being ready to install them. And good call, Scott. I have not been following any Wuhan updates anywhere for anything. I just kept going about my business and was happy with that. So I literally have not been watching updates on fucking anything. Trying to stay away from watching the news. Hello, Crystal. Carson, hello. Behind me in that white box is a Midwest Industries upper. It is the Gal 5, the Air Force takedown upper, 12.5-inch guy with the barrel comes off the upper receiver. It seems pretty cool. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. So it's there. They are not available. So maybe now's the time that I should try and unload it to people who want one. I looked up, I had to make sure I had like a name right. So I looked it up on the website and it said that due to supply demands, it's not even a back orderable item. So if anybody's interested in one, I guess talk to me. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have it and I might find something to do with it. So there is all that. I guess I can actually check that off my list that I wanted to talk about. Wow, got 5 done. Or if anyone's got like a cool build idea for a 12.5-inch barreled, removable barreled upper, let me know. See what we can come up, make something cool out of it. I got some spare parts floating around here, but not enough for a whole rifle. I don't think. I might have everything but a buffer. Maybe. I have to do some looking. The YouTube doesn't like showing guns in live streams. And I mean, I guess I could. You guys ready for the unboxing? It's already been unboxed. But... So that's the upper. It's got Bus Pro on it, which is surprising. It comes from Midwest that way, and they make their own sights. I stuck a charging handle in it. I had here, Battle Zone Manufacturing. Doesn't have a bolt carrier. It's pretty cool. It's these 2 little levers here. I don't know how well you can see them. If you flip them open, they got like a little hook. There we go. And then you've got the pass. Oh, it seems pretty neat and certainly would make it easy in a particular sized bag. Maybe not a bag that I own, but it could be pretty short. Obviously, it fits like under the ejection seat of an airplane. Yes, that's my airsoft upper. Airsoft upper. Well, the good news is it looks like this locating pin is above the gas tube, so that would help, impact this way. And it sticks out further than the gas tube, so it would help with impact this way. So I don't know if I had it in a bag, I might arrange it so that something was around that as opposed to, them being super exposed. Maybe like a like I doubt this is big enough, but I have an Eagle radio pouch here that's padded, so I don't think it opens wide enough to like that whole thing in there. But like the principle of that being in something that's padded in order to protect them might be the way to go. I don't know. I'm probably going to store it together, but maybe I'll figure something out. Yes, I think a law folder on the lower and then the 2/2 upper could make for a pretty square package instead of it being elongated. I don't know. Maybe I'll play around with that. You can't get fucking law folders anywhere either. So if you feel my study group worked long and hard to find one or two. Yes, I like where you're going with that, Scott. An Nalgene holder would be perfect because it's the big round and that's got that big round knuckle on it. I knew you were the smart one, but it's pretty cool. I'll put it on something at some point. I guess I just got to figure out a project. I'm also use this other thing I just got in the mail yesterday to try out. Opened it today. A Elfman Tactical Match Pro drop-in trigger. So the guys at Elfman sent this, and the idea was to get it in a rifle before dynamic carbine over the Independence Day and let some people run shit out of it. But it showed up the day after class was over, so we didn't do that. I'll get that in something. And I talked to one of the guys on the phone, and dude said reliable as shit. I mean, like it's up there, it's doing its thing, not going full auto and whatnot, like a lot of drop-in triggers. So I said, sure, send it over, give it a whirl. Well, I'll beat it up and we'll see what it does. It's red, but you don't really see the red, but I, should make a yellow one. I have no idea. It does AR-10, AR-9, AR-15. What I'd like to do, have some guns here, some rifles with ALG triggers, some rifles with Geisley triggers, some rifles with McCormick triggers. I don't think I have anything with a stock trigger that I could be obviously the one I'd want to swap this one out to, because I'd like to compare the other ones side by side. I think I have two rifles here with ALGs. So maybe one of those I can swap out and then, comparison side by side. That might be the thing to do. I might have to get on top of that. Yes. Pennsylvania is the same way, I believe, with the registering of a pistol. So if it's not on the 4473 as a pistol, it's not a pistol. Like you can't say it's a pistol and it's a pistol. It has to be on the 4473 as a pistol. And if you didn't get it with the 4473, which is not required in Pennsylvania, like rifles can go from one person to the other, then it can't be a pistol because pistol's got to go through a dealer and get on a 4473. So you have here in Pennsylvania, which I assume Scott's similar. I don't remember where I was going to fuck. Either way, pistols have to, even person to person have to go through 4473 if it's a handgun. Gay, super gay, PA leads the gay. I'm not even very fond of my state. I haven't been for some time. So see, you got a little advantage of us there. Mike Fiore, hello, sir. Mike, just in case you were wondering, your Photoshop tutorial for stitching things together led to that map. Good job. You taught me well. Lars, hello, hello. Lars was my most recent sign up for a class. Like an hour ago. Which, speaking of which, I put a new class up on the website. March 12th, 13th, and 15th of next year. Dynamic pistol, including day 3, all 3 days, at Fort Honey Badger in Texas. Scott, awesome. I am glad to hear you did the burpees, and I'm glad to hear you sent the postcard in. Good stuff. So yeah, just put up a new class day. First one I've put up in a while, probably in 2020. I had my 2020 calendar done late last year. So that class is up. I don't know what Honey's schedule looks like right after or before my class out there, because maybe I'll hang around or go early. I have to look and see what he's got planned. Yes. Scott got the box of Defiant. And I'm sure he will enjoy the shit out of it. Oh man, I just hit the microphone. I wonder if that was really loud. There's also another class I'm going to add. I got it in a thing. Now, if you were at Dynamic Carbine this weekend, you know what class it is and probably when it is. It is not up for you to sign up for yet unless you are one of my patrons. If you are one of my patrons, you can log on to Patreon, and there is a secret link to sign up for, including just a deposit for the hidden class, where there is a $50 discount if 2 people come. It's just a 1-day thing in November. But patrons don't often go check this is what I've put on Patreon. So I'm giving you all the heads up that there's something over there that's going to go live to the public on Saturday while we are at study group. Oh, Scott Wexler. That reminds me when you mentioned 9mm, because I have some of your 9mm. I have a package here that I forgot to mail out before I went down to teach last weekend, and I need to do it soon. I guess got your address and shit. I just have to walk it up to the post office and pay them to take it. I should probably just get online and create a shipping label, pay for it there. Then the postman will pick it up, and I don't have to walk up to the post office. For those of you that are wondering, not that anybody's wondering, I went and got a spare key made for my Tacoma because I lost mine and lost my spare. And when I was there, I did my frame inspection for rust, and my frame is tip top. So they're going to give me a free undercoating as opposed to like a free frame, because they're worried about the second generation Tacomas and their frames like they were the first generation. Anyhow, while I'm there and they're inspecting the frame, a fucking shock that it's done. It's completely shot. So I'm trying to drive around. I don't have to, and beat the fuck out of my right rear where the shock is dead because they didn't have one in stock. So for a few days, I'll be trying to hook as much as possible and not beat up my truck, the non-working shock. I guess at 130,000 miles, it's all right that it needs new shocks in the back. All right. I got everything on my list talked about. Oh, no, not really. Just a reminder, in August 22nd, 23rd, Dollars will be here in London for a advanced rifle class, and Zach Bush will be teaching here October 15th and 16th. 1 day of intense gunfighting and 1 day of shotgun. So all that's happening. Nope, I do not want a toolbox for the bed of Tacoma. Although while I can see it being useful, I don't have any space in the bed of my Tacoma now with all the shit that I carry in there, and a toolbox would eat up more space. So I thought about it a little bit ago, but I went class this weekend and it was packed with range shit, and none of it was like stuff I put in a toolbox. It was like giant totes and like big things. Ron Clark, hello. Glad to see you made it home safely, or at least to somewhere where you could check in on YouTube. I was just showing off the Midwest Upper earlier. Talking shitty amp supply. I didn't have that on my list, but it did come up. Yeah, next time I see you, Lars, I'll be in my... Hey, speaking of Zach, there he is. I don't know if you heard, sir, but I was just letting people know that you will be here in a couple of months. I also am heading out there in a couple of weeks. Gonna go take a class that Zach is hosting. I'm running low. Stupid stash. So, like, it's been my experience that Zach has been a pretty okay fellow. However, I think the mustache has a bad influence on him. For instance, when his dear friends are thirsty, Zach would stop and let them buy a drop and then say, "We're not getting any drinks." So I think the mustache is evil. It's trying to hurt Zach's relationships with his friends and family and anybody else. That's my thought on it. I mean, you know, you're all free to think what you want. I think it's evil. And it can't be that badass. It doesn't have its own Instagram page. I mean, Chris Costa's beard has its own Instagram page, I think. Or is it on levels? Somebody with a beard. The beard has its own page. Either way, it's evil. Let's see what else we got going on. Use the and played around with it a little bit. It definitely feels more solid than the Chinese ones, but it sounds better. I don't know distance wise if it transmits any further. I don't have a way to measure, like, is it actually a full 5 watts like it says versus Chinese ones. I got no method for checking that, but man, it sounds good. Like the clarity is much better. Yes, he should definitely grow a Lemmy. I didn't know we were calling it a Lemmy, but I'm the Lemmy. So he buys a Tundra, but he's not going to drive it for class all the way here to Pennsylvania. He's coming. I don't understand either. I don't think I had the Viking Blonde mead. I had the sour, the Chaos Sour, and some of the stuff from Groenfell, but I think I had like the Valkyrie's Choice Old Wayfarer. I think it was what it was. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Zach, since you're listening, and anybody else out there that is pertinent to, last Wednesday, the 2020 run of instructor target stands was started. I imagine someday this week I'll get a phone call telling me that they are finished. So if you ordered target stands, I'm hoping by the end of this week I will have in my possession, but they are currently in production. So Zach, I will be bringing yours with me, and I don't know who else is coming out there. I can't remember. Oh, authorizing of the beards. Can you believe Noblesville Police Department will have police officers that look like men? Are you sure that's going to be okay in this new soft and gentle world? But yes, target stands are a coming. I believe of the batch has only got 31 in it. I think I have 20 of them sold. Don't quote me on that. So I will maybe have some extras for sale. That's all we used this weekend. For 3 days of dynamic carbine, we used like all portable target stands, some on my first gen and the second gens. Oh, tattoos. He's going to get a face tattoo. He's going to look like that dude, Tech 9 or something, who I don't know what he does, but, or that might not even be his name, and now I feel stupid. TJ, thank you for the kind words. I never found that police weren't approachable, but that wouldn't surprise me. Disallowing tattoos a year after they allow them, and then don't grandfather anyone in that got any prior to the rule change. Oh, just at 8:30. Jeez. I thought it was closer to 9. I was ready to wrap it all up. The whole list was written off. Yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. 20 of you motherfuckers are on here. You ain't got nothing to talk about either. Sex mustache. It needs its own Instagram page. Oh, yes. Cooler. I need to make sure that there's space for the cooler. You know what? I'll probably put the smoke grenades from Yan in the cooler. Oh, Javier, I'm glad you dig the Thrasher Magazine Tremis shirts. My good buddy Mike Gorey did the artwork for them. He is floating around here somewhere. I probably could have figured it out sooner or later, but Mike is literally a pro. So I paid him with a shirt. He knew that's all he was getting. Like we negotiated start that he was only going to get a shirt in return for making the logo for me. Mifflin County Sports. I don't think I've ever been there. Don't know where it is. I don't think so. I'm typing. Mifflin County Sportsman Association in Lewistown. Oh, you know what? I may have been there in Lewistown. Maybe not. I don't remember that picture. So can't say for sure I've been there. Well, I will tell you this. You're a little younger than I am, Scott, so this may not affect you the way it's affected me. So I got my bike together, did a couple early morning, didn't kill myself at the skate park. And Jay, hello, sir. And then after I got the one day after I was in the morning at the bike park, I took my son to the dirt jumps and we did some jumping. And for like 2 weeks, my fucking elbow was killing me. I never wrecked. It was just, like jumping and landing, and finally feels better. And I realized Vans fucking suck for comfort. Like they're real good from the shoe to the pedal or shoe to grip tape. Like that interface is good. But on the inside from the shoe to the foot, too many years of wearing good footwear, they blew. So I ordered a pair of Adidas skating shoes because Adidas at least knows how to make sneakers. And they're just not here yet. We'll see how they go. Hope everything is going well for you, Mr. Dressler. Javier says that things are a bit crazy down there in Florida, but it's Florida, so like it's synonymous with the word crazy. Like it's a level of crazy. There's like crazy and like psychotic, and at the very top is Florida crazy. Oh, good deal. Javier got himself some armor. So I'm going to tell you something, Javier, about your armor. I don't know what you got. Doesn't really matter, but don't kill yourself to do everything in your armor. Like you got to kind of initiate your body into it, like ease into it. So what I don't like to see is someone go to the range and be miserable to the point where they can't learn or focus on practicing because they're just focusing on surviving all the extra crap on them that they're not accustomed to. So, smaller bits and then work your way up so that you can be running around doing shit in armor. I'm almost out of my beer. Yes, TJ he ditched the armor after a little while. I was like, I'm done with this, going to a chest rig. Yep. Carson's on top of it. He knows. He knows a lot of stuff. He's a pretty smart fella. But it's one of the advantages of like the Mayflower style chest rig to the Mayflower, I don't know, whatever you call it, attachment method. So if you have armor with the clips on it, you can just clip the chest rig to it. And then when you're tired of armor, you unclip the chest rig, put the H harness back on. So then you don't have to have two of everything. Like everything's all together and you just swap it back and forth. And it's, Mike Fiore did keep his on for 2 days. Wait, class was 3 days long. Take it easy, Scott. Yes, Swift clips. Told you he knew stuff. I don't know who made him. I'm really not. I'm not positive. I could probably find out for you without a whole lot of searching. Type away on my mechanical keyboard. Type. We'll see what it comes up with. There we go. Oh, that's not the right link. That is for. Yes, Elite Force. There you go. TJ, they were made by Elite Force. I don't know what I paid. I did not pay $169. I got a better deal than that, but I had to hook up and I bought 5 at once. So and if you come down for the gunfight diagnostics and you have your own Glock airsoft gun that you want to use, by all means, bring it. So you can absolutely use your own stuff. We don't have to, keep swapping it around, or you use one you don't like. I'm hoping to have a bunch of different sites on mine by then. At least some of them will. I might leave one stock so we can compare stock sites to all the different other ones that we try out on those. I had to scroll back up and make sure I didn't miss anything there. So that also is coming up in September. I don't know. Yeah, Jay, the ones I got are the Glock licensed one. Apparently, the Elite Force makes them. I felt a little confident that if Glock trusted them with the official license, they must not suck. And then a buddy of mine that I grew up with that owns an airsoft field, he actually recommended them. So I felt pretty safe buying 5 of them. Oh, awesome, Bryant. So I'll be one of the few guys with a Smith & Wesson red gun shortly. It's actually, I could have put it back together and had a non-red red gun, but Bryant is dropping it off to big iron Cerakoting and getting the slide done red. Going to laser engrave my logo on it, but it has a solid barrel that can't fire a projectile. It does have an open chamber with a vent hole. There is no firing pin hole in the slide. That's been welded shut. There is no, the end of the striker has been cut off. And I guess that's all the stuff. So once it's all back together, when the red slide comes back, I will have a full functioning M&P 9T. I think it's the T. No, not the R. It's the T. So I will have a M&P 9T. I've never seen one. That'd be my demo gun. It'll be cool. Don't have. I'm not going to need it for a little while. I really only ever use that on day 1 of dynamic pistol. I don't have a dynamic pistol until October for the first half of dynamic week. There are no more pistol classes this year. The vehicle class will have a day of pistol stuff, but it's really not how to shoot your pistol. It's about how to shoot in and around a car, and the pistol just happens to be what we're doing on one of the days. Yes, it does, because of the trigger return spring. the way that pulls itself forward. Yeah, Steve, I did not get a yellow one because pretty much since it's going to be a T model, is it T or is it a P? I can't remember which one's a sim gun and which one's I think the sim gun's a T for training. I think P is for practice. R is for resetting. Either way, the Glock version of the red gun has always been red. So the gun that, like, the trigger would still cycle, the magazine would, or the slide would still cycle, could be moved, and it would feed dummy rounds in and out of it. Glock has a fair amount of those on the market, and they're red, so I went with red too. So any instructor that saw that would be like, "Oh, that's like the Glock version of this. It is the red gun." Just like sim guns are blue. The non-functioning gun is which is a T. So the sim gun is a T. The red gun is a P or an R, and the R is the one that the trigger resets without the slide moving. So it's always click, 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 click. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to show like, hey, the trigger presses, and then after this happens, the slide will reset the striker so that we can reset it and then press it again. So that's what I wanted it to do, and that's what I've made it do. And then I can use that to demonstrate malfunctions, and because then it's safer to have around other people in large groups. So I'm glad to have one, and it won't be too long till it's done. That'll be pretty all right. So I'll have an M&P 9P. You'll see it. It'll be all over the interwebs after I have it. So yeah, let me make some notes here for myself for later of what to do. I think every instructor should have like a blue guns, because you can safely manipulate those around people in ways that you couldn't with anything else, so that they can see what you're doing from any angle that you need to demonstrate it at. A cert gun works just as well, and they really aren't any different than a blue gun. Yes, a laser comes out of it, which has some purposes, but not as an instructor for demoing stuff purposes. But since the slide doesn't move, it's not there's things you can't demonstrate with it. You can demonstrate trigger press, but because it has a fully functioning trigger, but I think something with a reciprocating slide so that you can show malfunctions and whatnot is the way to go. Yes, the red guns. The last time we got one or two, we got them. They were refurbs that were like traded back to Glock, and a fella at Glock sold them to us without a barrel in them for, I want to say, $800, and then we had to buy a I don't remember, like a Lone Wolf barrel maybe, and put drill rod in it, weld it. Like I drilled through the sides of the barrel, dropped the drill rod in low enough that dummy round could go into the chamber. Then I welded through the holes in the barrel. It's called plug welding. And then I welded the end of the barrel shut, and then drilled a vent hole in it. So there was a little bit of labor there, but it was like $800, and we had to buy a Lone Wolf barrel. So on the M&P, I got the gun for $300, brand new Gen 1 full size M&P, and then whatever. Did same deal with the labor. I had to weld the barrel up, also welded up the slide. So there was, a moment of extra labor in it. But the Cerakote is going to be the only real cost. Well, actually, we'd have to buy the barrel for it. So we're $500, $600 less now. So unless the Cerakote costs $600, the M&P red gun will be cheaper than the Glock red gun. So that'll all be pretty cool. And with the cost that Gen 1 M&Ps were, like I saw them down to like $280. Like just buy a $180 M&P and weld it up, paint it, and you got yourself a working red gun. Oh, that Bryant's such a sweetheart. And he's got those dashing good looks too. Iroquois Foreskin is in the house. He is the fellow that donated the wonderful mead mug or beer mug, depending on what I have in stock here at the house. So I think today is a good day to polish off. March 12th through 14th, Dynamic Pistol will be in Texas at Fort Badger. Where I'm teaching, I'm just going to let Sonny do whatever he wants to any of the students. So that should be like an extra bonus. That went live. It's on the website today. As of this very moment, there are 8 slots left. There's another class I'm adding in November of this year in Lebanon. And if you're a patron, you can already sign up for it. Going to do some cool project with that Midwest Industries Gal 5 upper, this one, where this piece comes off of this piece. And if you've got some ideas, like shoot them over me, see if we can't come up with a good idea. I might even run this new Elfman trigger that was sent to me to try out in it, or it might go on something else. Hello, Devil Dog. So Midwest, 2 classes. Blah, blah. Target stands will be done shortly. They are in production now. And oh, hey, Garrett, that sounds awesome. And looking forward to showing off some of your stuff to some folks. So maybe you can get some more business, because that would be cool. And for those of you that are interested in here in Lebanon in August 22nd, 23rd, numbers defensive, advanced, it's offensive. What was the human weapon interface, defensive rifle something? This one's offensive, so it's the advanced rifle class. And definitive training solutions will be here October 15th and 16th in Tango gunfighting and 1 day of shotgun. So that's my update. I hit everything I want. Momentarily, we're going to punch out of this, call it an evening. I am going to probably work on getting using my new mapping software and Photoshop and making some more of these guys for some land navigation stuff that we're going to be doing in study groups. That's been our way. One of the things we're doing to offset the fact that ammo is unavailable to purchase. I think a fair amount of us are pretty set on ammo, not everyone, and there's no reason really to burn through a bunch of it if we can't easily replace it when we could go work on other skills that we don't have. I know we also have another study group planned where we're going to work on some convoy stuff. And I think that the convoy stuff, my idea is we're going to convoy to a land nav location and do some land nav, and then convoy back to Ruck Brewing Company and order some pizzas and have some beer. So it'll all be a pretty good deal. But I haven't got sidetracked on that. Oh, that's what I'm going to be doing. Getting some map shit printed out for my study groupers. So with that, I'm going to check out of here a few minutes early tonight, and you all are going to have a wonderful evening. Those of you in the Texas area are going to, when you sign up from here, you're going to go to trumpdynamics.com, scroll down until you find Dynamic Pistol in Texas. They're chronological, so it's near the bottom. And then you're going to sign up so that I can see you all early next year in spring. It'll be glorious. And I will, Adam, I'm going to see what I can't put together for you. We took a convoy class, and I think we have a bunch of different notes that we need to disseminate to the people in our study group. And I am going to, once I have those together to disseminate to them, I will disseminate them to you guys as well. Does that sound all right for you? It's that study group is a few weeks out, so it might be a bit before we get it all jammed up together. I'll talk to some of the other guys that take good notes, and we'll see what we can put together for our group, and I'll just give it to you. And with that, I am out of here. You all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next Tuesday. And feel free to fucking chat at me whenever you want. You won't see my ugly face talking live at you until next Tuesday. So take it easy.